Yeah. Huh? I'm always ready to receive champagne.
Be extra careful.
You should, please. Still a little early, so we're gonna play the music. And of course, as soon as I say it, it kind of goes silent for a second. Good morning, P-Dub. Glad to see you here. I'm not sure how many people are going to show up today, since this isn't one of our scheduled weekends, but we added it since we had to cancel last week. Miss VG is almost 100%. She is running around the house. She is bright again. She is just doing amazing. She's even chewing on bones and doing all of the stuff. So excited. Paranormal at the airport. Now that's dedication. Thank you so much for stopping in, even while you're traveling. That's a lot. That means a lot. What's up, Tabati? How's it going? How are you? Alright, so I'm using my old laptop. Well, we have been using my old laptop that I used to travel with. I got a new one because this one actually is metal and it bent, so I don't want to travel too much with it and break it, so we're using it as our streaming computer. It's doing well, but it's starting to show signs of aging, and it's getting really hot, so I'm not sure how much longer it's gonna go. But we'll keep doing it. Dragon Dancer, good morning. Glad to see you here. used your other recipe, by the way. Dogs loved it. They thought they were getting the feast of a lifetime, by the way. Yes, Tabati, thank you. I am glad to see you. I know we all cycle in and out, right? We're doing the same thing. We're going in and out of things. Hopefully the music's not too loud, but you guys can still hear it. We'll turn it off right at 11, though. But yeah, lots of things going in and out and just stuff happening. It's been crazy. But we're excited today. We've got a couple of topics. Now, if any of you attended or go to the Apocrypha podcast Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, that's the show that Adius Dade and I do. We did a panel this Friday. Panel did not go exactly as we had hoped and gone forward into things. Not that it was a good or a bad thing, but there was a lot of things that went undone. We did go for 3 hours, which is very long. But we're going to hit a couple of topics that we didn't get a chance to talk on there. So I want to hear your guys' opinion. And we're not going to spend the whole show on it unless you guys like the topic. Then we'll go through that. But if you have other topics, you bring them. If there's something you want to question about and talk about, you let us know. We will try to look it up a little bit, learn a little bit together, and then if we know about it, we'll talk about it. And we can potentially bring somebody else in on the show at that point to do what we need to do. I am going to try something, though. I don't think we're going to try it today. We're going to go into test mode. I'm actually... I can move this over here if you want. Is the mic in the way for you?
No, I can kind of look around it. Good morning.
Yes. Oh my god, I do want to do another prepping show. That would be absolutely amazing. Let's do that.
A what?
Prepping show?
A prepping show? Oh.
And we really... Dragon Dancer, if you're wanting to, we can bring you on. I'm thinking... let me ask this question to you guys real quick, too, before we get the video live. But can you hear the music okay? Like when I'm talking or when I'm not talking? Is it too loud, too quiet? Is it at the right level? How does it sound?
Ooh, pencil.
And the reason I ask is because the best way we can figure to get a guest on while we're here, it's loud for us and we'll have to turn it down, but I'm thinking if people want... Yeah, thank you. Okay, good. But that's a good sign. Because, hear me out, I am going to turn it down, right? It is loud to us. But the reason I bring it up like that is because we'll do music, but then once we get on the show, the best way we can figure to bring you guys on without having a whole bunch of setup issues is through our iPad and through Discord. So if people want to join and come hang out, it won't be by video. If it's spur of the moment, but we can bring you on through Discord with our iPad. And then that way we can have input. Now, of course, we can do it the other way where we're in our computers, but it's a little bit less personal to me. I like this setting, and we haven't really found a good way to bring people on the show this way from a video perspective, because once we get Discord involved, my computer goes a little wonky. It's just not ready yet. So we will, yeah, so if anybody wants to hop on, again, not today, because we're going to actually go live either later tonight or throughout the week as testing. So you guys, if you hop in, it's going to be testy, so we may or may not even see what you're writing, but we're going to test that out and see how it goes. So that the next time we do our show, which should be next Sunday, actually. Next Sunday is probably not going to be a show. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think after work.
Yeah.
Like half a day.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we'll if you want to come in and say hi and hang out and talk about a topic, maybe you're a much better expert and probably are on things that I'm not, and somebody asks a question, we can bring you in, just pop you in for however long you want, even if it's 2 minutes. And just, say your piece and talk about it. I think that'll be really cool. paranormal. So we don't, in the beginning when we started this, we decided we wouldn't have guests, meaning we're not going to have highlighted guests. So we're not going to like advertise that blah blah is coming on, right? So, yeah, and from that perspective, for this show, it's you ask us, hey, do you mind if we come on a little bit, or do you have a topic? We want you to hang out to the comfort level that you have. So that means, for example, PW, if you have a topic that you want to speak on and you really want to converse with us on, you just say, hey, I really would like to talk with you guys about this on the show. We'll bring you on. And we'll try to do it. We can do it, if we prepare, we can do it via video. If not, we will do it via audio when we get our video going here in just a minute. So, yeah, that's kind of the plan. Now, for Apocrypha, it's different. There's pre-work that we are supposed to do. We don't always do it, to get the stuff ready for guests. And some of those guests, we've had Michael Ford on that show. We've had a lot of other people, Orly Stewart, people that take a lot of time to schedule. So that's why that can be a little different. But our goal here is just like we've always said. It's about having a circle together, right? It's about all of us getting together, and some of you can't get here physically, and we want you to have that same opportunity to sit at the table with us. So that's where that's coming from. And then, as always, people that are local, you just let us know and pop over, and we'll share. But that's kind of the idea. The one thing that I don't ever really want to get into is having visits and people on for clicks, because that's not our purpose. Hey Joy, I don't care if I said hi, but hi. But yeah, we don't want to make this into a thing that we're doing for clicks or for likes or anything. We literally just like hanging out with you guys, and this is a good way for us to do it and talk about topics that we want to talk about. So that's why it's a little different. What is that?
From the books I'll be reading soon. Paradise Lost.
No, good one. John Milton. I want to read that next. I think I read it in like 3rd grade or 8th grade or something.
You read this in 3rd or 8th grade?
It would have been 8th or 10th grade. All of my times run together. But I think it's time for us to switch our video here. And hey, Mystic Manny, how's it going? Good morning.
Good morning.
I haven't turned the video on yet. Rook's over here waving.
And Paranormal Witch, going back several comments ago, I hate airports too. I don't like them. It's a big hassle all the way around.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I'd rather drive.
Great work and makeup the other day, Manny. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm jealous.
Ursula.
I don't have that artistic ability, but that was freaking awesome. I really enjoyed that. I know you guys had to have fun with it, but that's a lot of work.
I am not artistic. I'm trying to learn how to paint a pumpkin.
With spray paint.
With spray paint.
That's awesome with the Kabbalion. I'm telling you, it's a good one. It's a short read, but it's got so much good information in it.
Oh, I got to read that too.
What, the Kabbalion?
Maybe Dante and I can read at the same time,
it's
so
right
we can
there.
do it. So we can comment to each other on it. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Poor unfortunate souls.
Who's an unfortunate soul? I'm a fortunate soul. My pencil's stuck in my chest. Okay. So, welcome anybody. My brain is a little bit fried, but welcome
everybody.
Everybody. And
Hail to you this fine day.
Yes.
And cheers.
Remember, don't save the good stuff for a special moment, because the special moment may never come. Every day is the special moment.
Every day. Right now is a special moment.
Save it for a special occasion, and then the occasion doesn't happen. Every day is a special occasion.
And thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us. We started this originally during COVID because there was nothing we could do.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Couldn't get out anywhere. And
it's been a couple years. I don't know exactly how long, but a couple years. So thank you for hanging out.
And by the way, I've wanted to do Satiro Day again.
Yeah. Satiro Day.
I don't know if anybody knows how much work it takes to do that editing. When I do them, and I get up at like 4 in the morning to do those, and it takes me until about 9 o'clock to get everything right. We are probably going to restart that, and we want to do it
Live?
later and live.
Later
And so
and
it'll be
live.
both of us,
Yeah.
and so and then we're also planning on, like we said last week, doing some random streams of just random tarot. Like we might even tonight hop on YouTube and just start saying anybody comes in, we'll do some tarot, do some reads. We've got some really cool new decks too. I stopped counting, but I know some people know. Yeah, it is. It really takes some energy.
Ooh.
Hey, Furry Rage, welcome.
Furry Rage!
These are the cutest things ever, aren't they?
They are.
Um,
Were they effective in getting railroad or cemetery dirt, though?
yes.
They were? They actually worked? Like, I mean,
For what? I didn't get them until after we came home.
so you don't know.
It's rainbow, so it will work. Oh, man.
Doing all right, doing all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Furry Rage.
We'll turn the music down just one more step here. If you haven't checked out, this is, we usually listen to Herknunger, whom I love. Check him out. He puts a lot of stuff in, but this is actually White Bat Audio, which is royalty-free kind of synthwave music on YouTube. So if you like it, pop it in, and you'll enjoy it. It's a good
Mini
playlist.
Rainbow Shovel.
It does not feel like 73 in here. Because it's been cooler outside, not cool, but cooler, the air conditioner's not having to run as much. This means our humidity average is a lot higher. It's getting kind of warm.
Ooh, I like the smokes.
It's been doing...
Since 3 rows.
Yeah. It's funny because I have always been a night person, but because of work, I've had to keep myself days, and it can get a little stressful because I really, really do better in the late hours than the early morning. So hopefully one day we'll get back to that. So our topics today. Ooh, I don't know why I yelled. We have a couple. 40. Rub it in, Dragon Dancer. I love it. And yes, it is time for Samhain
Oh,
Blend.
it is time to make Samhain Blend.
I already know a couple things that are going in that one. Cardamom, black pepper.
Witch's tits.
Yes, witch's tits will go. As I was saying, our topics today come out of some of the things we wanted to talk about the other night, but just didn't get a chance to for whatever reason. We won't go into the details.
Yeah, so do we want to talk about what we've been reading a little bit, or?
Yes, you go first.
Sure. All right. So, I recently finished The Devil's Notebook by Anton LaVey, which was, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the greatest thing, but now I'm reading the Satanic Bible, and I can only classify it as like one of the best self-help books ever. It is a really good book, and I think we're going to talk about some things from that today. But it is just, I almost can't stop reading. It's really good. Do I agree with everything? No, but a lot of it makes a lot of sense. And next, I think I'm going to take a break and do one or two things from LaVey. I'm going to either read The Kabbalion or Paradise Lost by John Milton.
Good choice.
Sounds really good. A lot of good stuff. What about you, Mr. Mystic?
Well, I finished the Satanic Bible quite maybe a week ago, and the Satanic Rituals also about a week ago. I think there was a good question that was posted or pondered to me Friday night, actually. Do I find myself becoming more left-hand path as I'm reading these books? And it's like, I find myself becoming more interested with doing the things that nature makes me feel I should be doing. I feel more of an alignment with natural, not just nature, but natural feelings, natural thoughts, natural things. And by being aware of that, I'm able to kind of see what parts are still new, but seeing some parts of what are coming in to my brain, right? Meaning I'm able to identify things that might have been placed there versus things that might be experienced or nature related. Like I'm finding myself re-questioning belief systems. And so do I find myself being more satanic? No. Not in the sense of being a Satanist or Satanism or the Church of Satan or the Satanic Temple. But I find myself going more in the realm of just anti-religion. If that makes sense. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Yeah, it's the reduction of labels. Yeah, and you know, Dragon Dancer, great point. 100. That is exactly what I'm really trying to say, and that is much a better way to say it. And I like the term eclectic just because I like it, and that really is how it feels to me. It's eclectic. It's now there is some people who would say, well, if you're an eclectic nurse,
You could be an eclectic nurse.
If you're an eclectic witch, then blah, 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 you have to blah, blah, blah. No, just eclectic to me is I'm pulling from all over, and I'm finding it's actually an amazing way for me to do things, and I like it.
Well, I think that comes, too, from so many religions and groups and things like that have placed so many labels, and you have to. So I think that's one reason we might all not want to go into something with a label or with strict confines to it. At least for me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
God, the guilt and stuff and the hypocrisy that I grew up in Southern Baptist way is it's just now finally starting to make sense. And that I can say no other book. It just happened to be the Satanic Bible for me that was like, oh God, this stuff makes sense.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think people get really hung up on the Satanist and the left-hand path. And also, there's some things that LaVey says that kind of almost shows up a guilt in some ways about trying to distance from, and how witches, like myself, try to distance from Satanism or the left-hand path, yet we agree with a lot of the rules. But the reason is because I don't believe in Satan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is. I just don't believe in Satan as an entity, as a thing, as a kind of like the Green Man. It's an archetype at some point. So I found it. There was one passage that he talked about where he says, you know, he just doesn't understand why these so-called, in his words, so-called witches believe this stuff, but then they deny it because they're still hung on to the old Christian values, and that may be true in a lot of cases. But I think it's a different time now too.
And
I don't know that he would feel that way in 2023.
Right. And paganism was before Christianity, so it makes a little bit of sense. It's not that the witches are still hanging on to it, it's that they copied a lot of stuff when they took over that sounds familiar.
But I think they were, him and other Satanists and left-hand path people are a little angry that we're pulling from their stuff back, but we're not willing to call ourselves left-hand path or Satanists. And I will tell you, I could be, I mean, you could call me left-hand path and I wouldn't be upset about that. That would be an accurate reflection of a lot of my theories and thoughts. I have definitely informed my practice recently with a lot of this discussion, but it hasn't really, I don't want to say it hasn't changed it, because it will change it. I think positively. But yeah. And yes, Eclectic Nurse, that is really might be my next screen name. I'm seriously. And Dragon Dancer, yes, on the Heathen podcast, I would love to get more into that too.
Ooh, that would be cool.
How people get frustrated that and I get it. A lot of these individuals, like LaVey, have put a lot of work into it. And then have somebody come by and read and say, yeah, I like 50 of your 100 pages, but I won't call myself a Satanist because that's just sacrilege. That would be kind of annoying. But that isn't my purpose or reasoning anyway. Although I do have some deep-seated issues with Christianity, like I'm still averse to it, and I'm trying to get better at that because there's no need. Furry Rage also, I try not to label myself too. That's why I just really have stuck with eclectic. It just seems to work the easiest.
That sounds really good.
This is the leftover of our Equinox blend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Santanist.
Santaist.
Oh, Santaist.
Yeah. I love it. But yeah. So that's kind of the thing. Manny, absolutely. That's exactly kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not offended to be called a Satanist either. I'm okay with all of the... Actually, I think the only time I'd be offended is if you called me Christian.
Yeah.
Maybe not offended, but I would definitely have to correct you. Are you a Christian? No, I'm not. That's okay. Move on. But yes, trying to correct... Yeah, it gets really, really confusing trying to correct them.
I do think it's neat. One of my former coworkers reached out to me yesterday and said, "Hey, the church that you go to, they meet every Sunday." Anyway, she's really interested to come and check out the UU church congregation. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, I always like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so sort of.
Come on. But yeah, so that's like we've been spending a lot of time with that. Like we're in the Satanist and the left-hand path kick. And I think that's one of those things that, to me, it's like you can read stuff that maybe you do and don't agree with parts of it, but that doesn't make you more or less of the thing that you are trying to be, because we're all just trying to be whatever the fuck we can. It's already hard enough trying to do it. Glad you're not bothered by it, PW. That's a growth thing, I think. But I will tell you, trying to separate yourself from Catholicism as much as possible. Rook got some really good advice from a really gruff witch.
Oh God, yeah.
And I think it was good advice.
Yeah, she just said, whatever you grew up with or whatever your base for religion is, don't disregard everything. Just take from it what serves you or what resonates with you, and then just build upon it, which I think we kind of do with anything. So that was really good advice.
It is very good advice. And it's just like anything else as we learn. We take things away and put things back together. And Dragon Dancer, I think you hit that nail absolutely on the head.
Yeah.
That is exactly what bothers most of us, I think.
Corporations and churches should not have any place in laws or the legislative process.
I hear somebody chewing on something, but there's nothing chewable.
Whatever church it is.
Yeah.
Whatever group it is, or it shouldn't have any place there, for sure.
Yeah. And I like, I'm one of those, I'm a weird one. I do like labels. I'm finding myself more difficult to label. So when people say, "Are you a Satanist?" I'm like, I can't say yes or no. Are you left-hand path? I'm like, yeah. Which, definitely, because of how I view things. Nature-based, absolutely. But it gets a little funky. Theistic to a degree. But it is harder to kind of say what I am and what I'm not as I learn more, because there's so much good in so many different things. Like, I'm not a druid, but druidry really speaks to me. I learn a lot from that practice.
Oh, that's interesting, Manny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And for me, like,
Well, you know who gave him that advice from the Labyrinth, just for the record.
You
know what chaps my ass? Customers that chap my ass.
It's like, really, lady?
Anyway, go ahead.
I think there's a place for the theistic parts to me and deities. I think they just represent a lot that means something to me.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it has to for everybody, but I'm not ready to let go of the theistic side of things. I like what they represent. For me, they explain things that, we otherwise couldn't.
Yeah.
And I don't get the atheistic part, but that's not, to say somebody else couldn't. It's all about just doing what's right for you.
Yeah, there is a great YouTube channel. What is his name called? Do you remember? Oh my God, I can't remember it now. I'm going to have to look it up.
Religion Defined or something?
No. The guy.
The guy?
That talks a lot like the other guy that does Coffee House. Coffee House Crimes, amazing if you like true crime. He's really good. No, it's the mysticated crackulator or something. You know
I
what
agree,
I'm talking
Dragon.
about.
I don't know why that's so hard. Like, that's wrong.
What is his name?
That's a good point to Batty, too. I mean, that's the real big problem. Like, believe you what you want to believe, but don't come preaching to me about it. Or don't try to hold me accountable to your beliefs. Right? Choice of soul's path. And we all have that to... Oh.
Sorry.
And we all have that to do being comfortable in your skin and honoring each other. Agreed. I like Mr. Ballin.
Mr. Ballin is great.
Ah.
That's a good one. But this guy is really good on this particular topic, so I kind of wanted to point him out. I mentioned him last week, and I just want to see... Alright, I just want to see it, because I want to share him with you guys. And,
It's kind of sticky.
hopefully one of his things will come up. We just watched a whole bunch, and he was the one that was the one, we just watched him.
Oh, Paranormal Witch, by the way, I just recently read your blog about the true story of The Hills Have Eyes. That was really cool. I'm glad you posted that. That's a creepy movie.
Found it. Sorry guys, but it was Genetically Modified Skeptic. That is the gentleman's name. Genetically Modified Skeptic. And that is a really good conversation, is really what it is. So, if you want to check it out, check it out. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, it's a baddie. That's not cool. I don't know. I know you probably got through all of these. So
we try to pay her no mind after having gone off on her. That's funny,
that's the
Manny.
best you can do, right? Not spend any energy on those that don't spend it on you. Yep, Genetically Modified Skeptic. He goes through a lot of topics. Atheism is a big topic. But he has done a great job being as objective as he can be. And he admits in his places where he's not, which I like too. I think those are important things to be able to do. So, this is my last two pieces because I am smoked out here. But I wanted the benzoin and the dragon's blood together. Smell that together.
Ooh.
So,
That's nice.
speaking of Azazel, Pazuzu, Paimon.
The artwork. Ooh.
One of the questions that I didn't get a chance to ask on Friday's podcast, which was a demonic panel for those of you that don't know, was I wanted to talk about the Ars Goetia versus the Infernal Names. Because it was very confusing to me. I didn't understand, and probably still don't understand it very well, the difference. And when you're kind of getting into things, it's kind of trying to... Oh, it's so good. When you're trying to get into learning, and you're met with so much that you've got to figure out. Is that a toy that he has? It's Draco making the crunchy noise.
Oh, he's got a wrapper. Let me get it up.
Sorry.
I need some more
I was going to say, speaking of, hold on. Oh, whoops. See, this is how I know I need to lose weight. What is happening? My notes are stuck because my fat stomach pushed it against the table and Alright. My fat stomach pushed my remarkable power button up near the table and turned itself off all the way. But I wanted to ask about those two things. What, like, the difference between all these things? I heard Ars Goetia, I heard Infernal Names, and I'm hearing all these things, and like, what is all of this stuff? Because it's too much for me. Now, if you know anything a little bit about my personal practice, I do believe in deity. I do believe in God, goddess, energy, spirits, basically animism and polytheism, but that there's a universal connecting piece. So in other words, everything has a soul and a place and an energy that should be respected. Am I great at doing it right? No. But I do believe that, and I'm working towards that growth. So, rub it in, Dragon Dancer, but congratulations, I'm just saying. I love that. Mystic Manny. Can I ask you why you chose to put that quote in there for me? Or a period? I need to know. Look at Manny's note. I had my stomach turned it off.
But I do remain a demon. Ooh, I like so much.
Ooh.
Oh, good job, Dragon. Knee falling off pants. Furry. Ooh, ruler of greed.
Do you see it?
I see it.
Does that not ring a bell to you for anything?
But I do remain a demon. Mm-mm. Oh, that was yours!
Yeah.
That you pulled. So we randomly opened up the Ars Goetia book 2 weeks ago.
It just randomly, and I've had multiple visions of
Stolas.
Stolas.
Mine was Fur. I just opened it up, so I got to meditate on Fur.
So I found it very interesting. That's why I kind of freaked a little bit that you just put up something about Stolas. Like, I'm always obsessed with owls. Well, not obsessed. I like owls. I haven't really done much with them lately, but I like them. And it was the very first one that came up. My alma mater is an owl, which you should probably know that. The night owls, right? So yeah, you putting that on there was just like, okay, that was a little kismet there.
Fur.
Little sign.
I got to look at Fur.
Fur.
Yes. Not Fur Burger. Fur.
Please, no fur burgers.
No fur burgers. No fur. Not for me anyway, but to each his own.
To each their own. Yes.
Yeah.
So going back to that, like, there was so much going on. I'm trying to figure all this out. I do believe in the spirits. Like, okay, the Green Man, Carnunos, Ellen of the Ways has always been a big one. Of course, the Welsh and the UK. I don't want to say demons, but spirits. The Mori, all of those things that we typically learn maybe initially in Wicca and then kind of move through. But then somebody started talking about the Ars Goetia, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, not knowing anything about it, the Ars, and not knowing people wanting to talk about it, which was interesting because we asked questions and nobody would talk about it. Nobody seemed to really know. So bought books, read a little bit, and figured it out on our own.
Is the Ars Goetia connected to King Solomon? Is that the one?
It is. It is from the Key of Solomon, the Greater and the Lesser Keys.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, Paranormal Witch, that's cool. You gotta look at that.
They're the opposite to the 72 angels of, get this, Shem Hamafaresh.
Oh, I love that word. Shem Hamafaresh.
So which is a blasphemous way to use the 72 goetic demons and the 4 kings, because it's the reverse of the Shem Hamafareth. But I'm not an expert. I just know that I've read a little bit and I'm starting to learn about it. Stolas is... What are you getting this stuff? It's getting on my nerves. Sorry, they keep chewing on plastics. Oopsie.
Shem Hamafaresh.
So I'm going to screen share real quick just so you guys can see a couple of the princes, but Stolas is a prince.
And then show my Fur.
Let's transition over real quick. So they see what's on the right. The left is a preview of what's next. So you can see here there's some seals. This is a representation of Stolas. So, dude, seriously, that is my charge at the moment. And we've got some other things, a description of the demon Stolas, but this is a Wikipedia page. It goes through a lot. And maybe you're one of the people I need to talk with, sir, because Stolas has come up multiple times, including in tarot.
Sounds like you need to talk to Manny.
So anyway, just wanted to share that piece with you.
Pull up Fur.
And so, okay, we can let's pull up Fur.
After you're done with Stolas. It was the deer one, right? Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's tiny.
Can you even see fur? Well, that stinks. No, don't show your fur. You could get arrested. Yeah, that's true. Guilty.
Well, at least your name's not furry rage.
Furry rage.
Furry rage. But anyway, there's lots of information, and what really kind of just messed me up was that nobody was willing to really explain or talk through it. And so there's this Ars Goetia, right? And the Ars Goetia is the 72 Solomonic demons that are the opposite of the 72 Shem Hemiphareth angels, right? The 72 angels. And there's this lore and a whole bunch of stuff that goes with them, and we're working through and starting to learn some of that stuff as we go through. But for me to learn, we got to talk about it. And so that's why we wanted to bring it up today, because that was a question I had last night, or Friday night. Guys, what do you think? Demonic Panel, right? Ars Goetia, infernal names, completely different. So that's the Ars Goetia. It's kind of like it's a religiosity thing. It's very specific. Now the infernal names, completely different.
They came from the Satanic Bible, and I don't know how many there are. Let me count them for you. This is from the chapter Hell, the Devil, and How to Sell Your Soul.
How to Sell Your Soul.
Let's see. Infernal names. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's quiet. No, he's counting. I forgot. While he's counting, the infernal names are a little bit different. And they are not this like Key of Solomon or this group of demons that are recognized as this religious thing, but they're the adversaries that LaVey looked through lore. 77. So I wonder if there's 78 and you just can't count.
It could be. What's the significance of 78? Does it mean something?
Well, it's the number of tarot cards. It's the number of the Goetic demons with their kings. It's also or maybe that's 76 actually.
My fur didn't make the list of infernal names.
Yes. So it would have been nice to have that conversation. The infernal names are from all over the place. And you've got like the voodoo serpent god Damballa.
Oh yeah, let me read some examples. That's true. So you've got Hecate in here, Kali, Lilith, Loki, Abaddon,
There's a little bit more information than that.
Beherit. Oh, like, is that Bile, Celtic god of hell?
Where's Bile?
Right
yep.
Here. I don't want to say Baal.
We know somebody that uses that name.
Naama, Hebrew female devil of seduction. Mictian, Aztec god of death.
Naama is in the Bible. I remember reading in the Bible, Naama.
Puka, Welsh name for Satan. Azazel taught man to make weapons of war. Introduced cosmetics.
Stupid.
What?
Furry rage. Oh no, the names have no fur, they'll get cold. Oh, that's hilarious. I love it.
Shiva, the destroyer. Satan, Enochian equivalent of Satan.
Satan and Shaitan.
Set, Egyptian devil. Tunrita, Scandinavian female devil.
Is Cthulhu in there? I don't think he is. But
how do you say it?
Cthulhu.
No.
Coyote is there, the American Indian devil.
Let's see if your Stolas is in here.
Stolas is not in there.
But that's Supe, Inca god of the underworld. So they're different ones.
So I don't know a lot about them, but what I've learned is that the difference between them is really important insofar as their organization, right? But ultimately, there's not a lot of discussion about that. And there's people that believe in the Goetic demons. There's people that don't. They work with them. And there's some that, when you look at LaVey, he really focused on the adversarial nature of past religions. And that was important. But that was something that I really wanted to know different people. Did anybody in here? I mean, it appears that some do. But do any of you work with infernal names or goetic demons. And good morning, Kelvin.
Good morning, Kelvin.
We are currently talking through the infernal names and our squaja.
And Shemhem Faresh.
And Shemhem Faresh.
I shouldn't have
Manny,
just laughed that loud.
The 3 books of Enoch is something that I have started reading, and then I lost the book somewhere. So I had to buy it again, and I'm starting to reread it. But another topic I'd love to talk, because I just don't know a lot about it. So I want to learn. But that was one question that I really wish we would have had an opportunity to ask.
I work with many. Oh, which is part of my eclecticism. Oh, yep. Cool. I'm researching the moment. I haven't gotten there yet. A bit of both. I'm actually Cherokee. Oh, wow. Coyote. Oh, that is really cool.
I love that.
That is cool. Never heard of him as demonic.
Tebadi, so it's not demonic. Just to clarify, it is him as an infernal name on LeVay's group of adversaries. So the description is that LeVay included Coyote or Coyote. I don't know how to say it properly from that perspective, but that he was included because he was a strong adversary to the norm. He was a free thinker, a forward thinker. Words would describe didn't follow the line, buck the system. A version of Satan as an adversary, not as an entity, but that's why it is. So the infernal names that LeVay put together aren't all demons. Now, I think he does call him the devil, the Indian devil. Granted, his choice of words, not ours.
In memoriam, yes.
In memoriam.
What?
My head hurts.
Let me do this one too. In memoriam.
But yeah, so we've been doing a lot of Anton LaVey reading. Like I am on the 4th book in this row.
Oh, Leviathan. Cool.
That is so interesting. I'd love to know more about that too. I've heard Leviathan come up a lot, and I'm very confused about Leviathan because I've heard it in terms of the infernal waters. The serpent.
Is he is it water?
I've heard him in
water.
Most confusing in Supernatural. That's where I got screwed up. I stopped understanding it because of TV. Good show, but not quite accurate on depictions. Not as far as I can tell, anyway. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to try to burn it.
The infernal are adversaries because, as you said, they stood out. But also, you gotta go check the water, but also don't conform to normalcy as described by those in religion or corporate. That's I was little and I enjoyed his presence a lot. Would love to talk about that. Would be awesome, Daddy. I would love to hear about that Leviathan.
So maybe we can put that on we need to mark it for a future show.
Let me make a note right now.
Make show notes.
I'll make a show note thing, and I wonder if Tabati would come in, or
even if it's audio. Remember, next time we have our show, we'll have the ability to bring audio in. Once you figure exactly how to work, but we're going to make it happen.
So what would I need to add for a show note, a separate thing? That would be a notebook or a folder for everything, just like a big umbrella for the show. That would be a folder.
I don't know why you'd want a big umbrella, but okay.
Yeah, what would I do?
I don't know. You have to figure out what works for you.
How can I get out of this to the back? Oh, it changed it. Notebooks, PDFs, ebooks, all.
That is all.
But I want to make a book notes. That's under there. Oh, journals and thoughts. Oh, I want to make...
He's trying to use a piece of technology that he obviously never should have got.
What? Don't say that. Journal and thoughts.
But yes, I would make a folder. I'd make it a notebook.
Oh. Under...
Wherever I wanted to put it.
I'm going to make this one. Okay.
Sir.
And then show notes.
Yeah. Anytime. No, more than welcome to chat here. We don't have the iPad to bring you in on this one. So it'd have to be on one of the future shows.
Let me write it
So we'll
down.
find out when you're available.
Sure.
Or the next time you show in, we can just hop in. It will be audio only.
What is today, the 20th?
Or if you don't want to do audio, obviously you can continue through chat. We'll read the chat. So we can put it up there.
I'd rather be seeing and hearing if we can, but that's not up to me. It's up to the person. Oh, what have I done? Oh my god. Okay, future topic, Leviathan. To Betty.
I do not want anybody to feel like they have to come on video and audio if they are uncomfortable.
Right.
So your comment was inappropriate and rude. Retract. He's gonna get beaten a little bit.
Only if they want to.
Yeah, no worries. And no rush and no pressure, so.
Coming up somewhere soon.
So yeah, that was definitely something that I would want to hear more about, and kind of review and talk about, because it's new. Yeah, true, Dragon Dancer. You know what's funny? Up until very recently, oh my god, the first 2 or 3 times I went live, I was like shaking, heart beating out of my chest, couldn't breathe. Now I'm just like, we're talking with a bunch of friends, and if somebody doesn't like it, we've got mods to kick everybody out who's an asshole, right? I don't mind ever when people are passionate about their feelings, but if they're rude, disrespectful, or calling anybody out in a negative way, they're going to be kicked out anyway. So don't stress too much over that part. And yes, Manny, I almost asked if you wanted to do today, but we really wanted to do it in here at the table, because we wanted to talk this way because we haven't been able to, and we don't like the iPad is how we're going to try to bring in a third person, so we have to try to figure out how that's going to look. And I keep saying that, so we're just going to have to do it. But on our next show, we're going to have our iPad charged, and we're going to have it set up like right here, so that if somebody comes on into Discord, we can open it up one person at a time. Though at this point, make sure it works, and then we'll kind of be able to pull that in. So I'm excited about that. We also are going to do our after shows more often, including today, which means you can come in with us after the show and talk in Discord with video, audio, or just listen. You don't even have to say anything. But we'll go into a little more detail and get a little bit more just down to hanging out vibe instead. So we do want to do that again. I don't want to hit the next topic until Rook gets back in here, so yeah, I really want it. I don't care if it looks hokey or not as professional. I'm not worried about that like video quality thing that some people are, but what I am worried about is that people can hear you well and that it's not difficult to communicate. So that's one of the things we really want to work on. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
With my rude self.
Accurate. I know you're trying to make me feel guilty, and guess what? I don't.
I'm trying to exercise psychic vampirism.
You suck at it. So, that was probably the big question. Like, I really wanted to hear what people's opinions were on the difference between the Goetia and the Infernal Names. It was a big deal. I had 2 other questions I didn't get to ask. And I have a problem with interruptions. Like, it's really hard for me to interrupt somebody, except you. Because you get
I was going to say, not all the time you don't.
Do I interrupt you a lot, or do you interrupt me a lot?
Equal.
You want to reconsider that comment?
I have no problem with interruptions.
He does not.
Let's put it that way.
I do have a problem with interruptions, so it's hard for me to speak up when there's a group of people because I don't want to overtalk anybody, and I really want to hear what they have to say. But at some points, you just gotta hop in and adjust. But Yeah.
That's why we don't.
Yes. Gouge your freaking eye out.
It's normal for you to cuss your spouses.
It's not cuss. It's normal if you cuz at your spouses.
Oh.
So, yes.
Yeah, that's normal to cuss too.
The other second question out of 3 that I had, so moving on a little bit, got some good conversation on, well, not conversation, but some good introductory comments of Coyote, Stolas, Leviathan, and Furfur.
Oh, I gotta write those.
So we'll be kind of coming back for that. But the other question I had was thoughts on power, because I've been reading the process relational philosophy too. And so I'm kind of pulling all these things together. And so I wanted to know, people who practice, what do they feel is power? They don't have it right.
What was the difference?
Yours was down here.
Okay.
It's very loose down here. See?
Uh-huh.
Up here, it's very strong.
Ah.
Do you ever know somebody that always gets like 85% close to where they need to be, and that 15% they just never figure it out? So, as you were saying, power. Thoughts on power. What is it? Do you seek it? How do you exercise it? How can you use it or misuse it? Do you need it? Answer the question.
I think we all have our strengths, which is our power in different areas. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Why are you saying it like how dare you ask me that?
I didn't say it that way. I'm stating my opinion.
It's wrong.
I'm not saying it's fact.
I'm just kidding. Unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
Yeah. Yeah, too bad. I agree. Power is necessary. Furry Rage, yep, power is necessary. It is. It's unfortunate, but it's also fortunate because power can be used for good things. Personal power over your own destiny, huge, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Very, very good point, Joy. I actually have that in my notes. The difference of power over somebody as opposed to power with somebody. So, empowerment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to see power in the philosophy group, which I'll get to in a minute, that a really neat version of how they expressed it.
So
Yeah.
learning it's a process. Yep, learning yours and how they work with others. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So kind of strength and weakness, self-realization, actualization kind of do. Yeah. In process relational philosophy, there's unilateral power and relational power. Unilateral power is thinking power as on a scale, right? If you're talking about power between me and Rook, the more power I have, the less power he has. That's power over to me. So if I become stronger and more powerful, you become weaker. If you become more strong and more powerful, I become weaker. Does that make sense?
On a scale.
Right,
Yeah.
that's unilateral power.
Yeah.
It's I have power over somebody. So it can be, there's lots of other things it can be. Power can be situational, power can be authoritarian power, it can be assigned power from like work as being a supervisor. All those things are power. It can be interpreted power, like an adult and a child, which leads into a lot of negative and inappropriate things that happen with kids. It's power struggle. It's the same reason why you don't want to work with family at an official job, because there's a separate power issue that's not part of it. What I liked and learned just last week, is about relational power. And the relational power is part of the relational philosophy, process relational philosophy, is what is our power with others or in relation to other things. And so it takes it as not power over you, like we don't have power over each other. We have different strengths within a relation of other things. And so it's constantly changing. And I think, see, I keep...
Oh, you're hitting the sleep?
Yeah, on the top. And so that power becomes really important as a relationship, as a growth, as a thing we do together. And yeah, joy, exactly how it works with ego. Paranormal, I think anything can probably be a power. I'm trying to think how I would see love. Like, I've recently kind of changed my definition internally of love to be more about what fills the gap when you hate less. Because love and hate, if you read or follow apply, I should say, the Kybalion Hermetics, for example, love-hate is a unilateral dynamic. If I hate you less, that means I love you more automatically. And I can, if I give it a 100-point scale and I hate you to the 99th point, then I still love you for 1 point. And if I go from hating you to the 99th being the worst hate ever to the 90th, then I love you more. And that dynamic allows me to kind of see where I have hate and discontent, and remove it down and fill the vacuum with something that is more powerful, which is love.
That's how myself with 100 is so powerful after I met Dragon Dancer. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, Furry Rage, that is gorgeous. I love that. That is exactly how I think it should be.
Whatever I don't think generally works out well. Look at people in general and trying to have power over the earth. Yeah.
That 100%
manipulation.
Too.
That's manipulation. Yeah.
Manipulation is a means to gain power on a unilateral scale. If I'm trying to, for example, there has been in our history multiple times where we change who makes more money.
Yeah.
A lot of people see that as a power piece. I don't, because it's still all going to the same place. Hell, the more you make, the less I have to worry about keeping my job. I can do something else.
That's what I'm thinking. The more you make, maybe I can go to something else fun.
But that's kind of the same idea. But that's something I really wish I would have had a chance to ask Friday, because some people really feel like, power is your influence on others. And it is. There's a version of power that's about your influence on others and how you can affect them. But going from Hermetics back to the relational philosophy, that power really comes into how well you are able to be affected. So it's not people think power is how much I can control you, and it is in our society, but true power is how much I control letting you affect me. How affected I am by you. The ability to allow myself to change because of external forces for a good nature, that is powerful. That is also manifestation. So we talk about how we can control other things and control yourself. But what about allowing something beautiful to happen to you, to change you? That is the relational version of real power. Is not how much you can affect somebody else, but how much you can allow yourself to be affected to the degree you want. I think that's a neat concept.
That's interesting, yeah. I like you to explain it to me, because I would not do well reading that kind of book. But it's interesting the way you explain it. And I agree, Dragon, even the best bosses work as power with, not power over. Change people's lives. Make a great experience that can make a difference. Yeah.
And think of how powerful paranormal
She tells me what to do, she'll kick my butt.
That's a different kind of power.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love it. Paranormal, I think that's one of the strongest powers, but the point, I absolutely agree, but I want to just take it a step further. Like I was saying, power can mean change people's lives, right? Making a great experience and making a difference. But think of how much power it takes for you to allow yourself to change to what somebody else is giving you or sharing with you. That's a lot more important than people think. A lot more powerful than I think people think. But I think that would have been a good conversation. It is a good conversation, isn't it?
It's good.
I mean, I'm just saying. Nobody asked me. Oh, right there. That's power.
That was your power.
The other question that I had that I didn't get a chance. Yes.
Sovereignty.
Agree. Sovereignty. Absolutely.
That's a nice.
Yeah, and again, I think it's important. Sovereignty is obviously a huge thing. Being able to exercise your ability to be yourself and have control over yourself and power over yourself. But again, the power to allow others to change you, because that's what makes it new, right? In process relational theory, I think that's where I read it. It might have been the Kabbalion. I don't know. They're all merging together now. It talks about a novelty, right? So usually when I hear novelty, I think of like novelties, like fun things. But novelty really means new, novel things, new and exciting. They're novel. So novelty is the generation of the world around us. There's a novelty to it. Our experience shape the creation of the world around us and how we experience it, and gives us that novelty. If you're reading, you can't listen. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Nope, we already talked about novelty. What'd she say?
She's saying allowing change in, shifting power, being willing to trust the process with yourself, with the deities you work with, or your guides, and such as its own power, a huge process. Yeah, even teachers and other people. Unlimited cosmic power.
Yes.
Itty bitty living space.
I love it.
No, I was laughing, thinking about something that Deborah said about Satanists. Hope you never meet a Satanist. They're the most miserable group of people you'd ever want to meet.
She's special. I love her.
Oh my god. Not judgmental at all. Not. But good.
Honest.
Which is a good quality.
Honest. But yeah, the third and final question that I had written down for the panel that I didn't get to ask was the introduction one. This was the first one I wanted to ask. How do you experience ritual? A little evidence of your path. What value does ritual bring to you, if any?
That's a good one.
Yeah. So I like to hear about other people's ritual processes, because, like, for me, they're kind of all over the place. Sometimes they're organized, sometimes they're not. I kind of prefer the unorganized ones.
I do too.
Just the we like, look, we got to go do some magical work. We get up and start doing some stuff.
Yeah, I think for me, it definitely puts the focus in of the energy and gets you in the mood to concentrate on what you're doing, whether that's just honoring the turn of the wheel, or if you're actually trying to manifest something. I think ritual is important to me because it gets you thinking about it. Gets you working towards what you need to do. Okay. So unlike a prayer, like if you pray, I wish I could remember the phrase, but ritual, magic, prayer with actionable, you got to take action. You got to do something with it. So ritual gets you thinking about what you need to do, also to focus and get it done, I think, for me.
Yep. And so I separate ceremony and ritual.
Yeah.
Ceremony celebrates. So I'm having a ceremony, like a moon ritual, is really a celebration. But you also are drawing energy in. So there's a lot of wanting to like engage or be better in cycles or grow stuff. That's birthdays, ceremonies, rituals, equinox, all that stuff. Those to me are more ceremonial than ritual, because it kind of puts you on the cycle and puts you in the group and the round of things and starts bringing you into what it is you're kind of seeking, and it's bringing awareness and engagement and all that. But ritual for me, which ceremony can be ritualistic, but a separate actual ritual means I have an end result that I want to get to. So if I'm conducting a ritual to blah blah blah, is usually what I see a ritual as, like a ritual to help heal Viji, a ritual to help myself be more calm without medication, to whatever the case may be. And then ceremony to honor the gods and goddesses. Ceremony to honor the earth and to honor the moon and to get back on the cycles of the moon and all those things. That's how I see it. Her Own Witch, welcome in. Unorganized and spontaneous. Yes, we are all on that level. I love it. Kelvin, absolutely, and I hope you feel that because we agree. We talked about this, I think, before you got in, how we still, let me stop saying we, I still don't consider myself left-hand path. I do believe a lot and feel a lot of calling to left-hand path stuff, and I think by description I would meet left-hand path. So if you were to say, are you left-hand path, it would be yes, but also if you were to say, are you Satanist, maybe a little bit, yep. Are you a witch, yep. Are you polytheistic, yep. Are you animistic, yep. So there's so many things. I think the left-hand path, from what I see and know and have learned, is probably one of the... It's definitely more honorable than people ever gave it credit for as a thing. And nobody should have to make the statement that you just made. And I'm talking about in a good way.
Yeah.
It's not yet I can be honest. You are an honorable person, and it has nothing to do with the left-hand path.
Eclectic nurse.
They're not mutually exclusive, and I love it. And thank you for saying that.
Hashtag eclectic
I just want to make sure
nurse.
that what Rook was saying was if you heard it, was a repeat of somebody else's comment. Not how we feel.
What about?
Most miserable people.
Oh, God, no.
I don't know if that's even where it came. I just happened to notice it.
No, who was it?
Simple ritual, yes.
Oh, yeah, no.
I agree. The bigger the group, the better. The more the planning, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely not me. I really embrace reading about what the left-hand path is in Satanism, which I never thought I'd be reading about. So it's very interesting.
Eclectic nurse. Woo.
Eclectic nurse. Move to the woods. You'll be calm. I haven't needed MJ. Oh, or my prescription meds in a week. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, you don't have to tell us twice.
Gosh, that makes a lot of sense.
Seriously.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And it's really like, I think, for why we all have anxiety and ADHD and just general stress is the world of agreements that we've been put on to with what's important being forced on us, which isn't important.
Sorry, baby.
God, I would love to be out, just living in the country, I think. Rather than the city would really help a lot.
Oh, I bet that was gorgeous. The Blue Ridge area of the Appalachians, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have read quite a few books from some Appalachian magic.
Dragon Puddle.
My mom is from Point Pleasant, West
Dragon
Virginia.
Puddle. Your mom?
Uh-huh. And we're all from Virginia. Well, not you, but me.
I'm from Texas.
So that sounds so much fun. I miss the Shenandoah. We used to go there and go in the mountains. And you hear Finn dreaming?
Yeah.
I wish y'all could hear it. It is the cutest thing ever. I don't think you'll be able to see him.
No, no, you can't see him.
Right, he's right there.
Through the chair.
Yeah. He's going. It's hilarious.
Uh-oh, you called some folks.
Texas in the house. Yes, always. Did I call some folks?
You called some folks.
Oh, goodness.
Instant calm and connection.
Look at which one I called. I just squeezed your titty. I'm sorry, honey.
Oh, my petite. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Ugh.
And well over a year, thank you both for being such good, giving me muse. Oh, I'm glad.
Glad to do it, Manny.
The
yes.
Blue Ridge Mountains are amazing. We went there for my friend's wedding a couple years ago. Yeah. It's beautiful. Old.
Ma? You wanted to come up. What are you doing now, honey?
Hey, buddy.
You can't lick me. I know where that tongue has been.
I need to clean you up.
She needs a bath.
Okay.
Her belly's brown.
You need a bath?
Yeah, look at that brown belly.
Okay. Look at your bath.
Now she's gonna hate me. I have a dog.
Come here, my petite.
Dragon Puddle. So yeah. Those were some of the things I wanted to get out. I think this was a really good conversation. I appreciate you guys talking. Next service we do, next circle I should say, because we're getting away from the service word, the service name. We will have the setup that we can bring people in digitally via audio. So that's exciting. I'm very excited about that.
So, wobbles at you.
Dragon puddle. Paranormal. There were other things occurring, and I do not do well to interrupt. Although I will say, I did attempt to multiple times, and it just did not make it through. So, that just didn't happen. And there are some other small reasons, but I don't really... It is what it is on that phrase. But, let me get one more charcoal set up here.
Come on, babies. You sweet girl. Come on.
Because we're going to need to do some tarot. You going to take notes for the tarot names?
Let me do.
This has been a really good conversation. I appreciate that. That's been fun, and we will keep these topics and bring them up again.
Yeah,
when we have an opportunity for you guys to join and have actual verbal conversation about it. So we will be doing tarot. Let us know if you want a reading.
Leviathan, and
you will get a general reading unless you
Stillus.
otherwise state. Kelvin beat everybody to the punch on that one.
Sir Kelvin.
Paranormal Witch.
Paranormal.
Joy. Yeah, it's and you know, there's probably a level of
Guardian because I
highness that was involved.
To Betty.
Dragon Dancer.
All right.
Yeah, Furry Rage. I think that's a very important part too. Furry Rage. That's a very important part. I think it's not included sometimes.
It's funny because read me in gay terms means something else.
It does. To filth.
Guardians are very important. Yeah, read me to filth.
Read me
Thank
to
you very
filth.
much. Okay, I'm gonna go get a deck. You have your deck, right?
I am going to use the
So I
Goetia
got the
Tarot.
peeps. All right.
Turn the music up a little bit too.
My petite, I gotta put you down. I gotta go get a deck. My love.
Do you have any more Champagne?
We do.
Probably just finished it out, right?
Okay.
So Rook's gonna go grab. Oh, by the way, there are some decks up there too. If you want to look.
Ooh, let me see. One of those might call to me. I'll have to see. We get champagne.
So yeah, like these. Some of the times I think that we don't touch deep enough on the topics, so we are going to try to keep track of them a little bit. Me and Rook talked about kind of our layout and our process here, because there's so many topics to talk about that we may not even know about that you guys might be interested in. So bring a topic if you want to hear about it. We'll do a little research and reading on it and bring it up. But just know that we're not going to be necessarily the experts. But then again, the exciting thing for me is that, like I said, next week we might be able to have just randomly somebody on, or the week after, whatever week we're doing it next. We'll have a random discussion and have people on just to have conversation that want to give something to the discussion. And I don't do well with thank you. I don't really do well with all the over talking and stuff. It's too much for me. So I don't respond well to it, and so I usually just get quiet. Tabby! Hey, Tabby! We're getting ready to do tarot. If you would like a read, just let me know, and we'll add you in. Yeah. So this is how we learn. We read it, we talk about it, we hear it. Like, there's been a couple of comments in here that, especially about power and things that have been very interesting to me that I'm going to kind of go back and do a little research on and try to learn a little bit about. So I think that is just awesome. I really, really enjoy Sundays with you guys. Just talking, just having conversations, right?
Yeah, we pull from your Shaman Stream Oracle. This one was jumping to me. Jumping.
If you guys were to see his handwriting, you would be like,
it's amazing.
Is he a physician?
Very good penmanship.
I can't read a single word on your page. 2 vultures, optics.
What? Here's your topics. Leviathan to Batty.
Feranthium.
What?
O-tollers. Mystic. I got Mystic Manny. Although that actually, if you're writing cursive, that says Mystic Marnie, but...
I've been told I have very nice penmanship.
By whom?
Minnie.
Who?
Minnie.
Name Minnie. Minnie who? Minnie Mouse?
Too numerous to count.
Minnie Mouse? Because this certainly wasn't a person.
You almost made me choke.
Actually, that was you. Take responsibility for your choices
I want
in
some
life.
clearing smoke. Is this lit?
Yes. Okay, these
are beautiful
want to
cards,
shuffle.
by the way.
Yes,
I'm pulling
they are.
from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. What are you pulling from?
Goetic.
Ooh,
The Goesha.
that's very appropriate. I can't even read my own writing.
Sorry about the noise.
Handwriting is so professional. Oh, thank you.
Paranormal.
love her.
Please.
Yes, it is. Thank
Please, paranormal. Her own witch. Add her, please.
you. Yeah.
Paranormal. There's a lot of things I love you for, and I've never really disagreed with you. But something has happened that you have missed. So we're going to have to address that.
No, don't listen to him. You're
Put it under the camera.
absolutely correct.
Camera's
I don't
not
want to
on.
mess up your things.
Camera's not on.
Oh, you made me drop my pen.
I didn't make you drop your pen either. Or make you choke. Melissa, hey! Welcome in, my dear.
Where's Alyssa?
We're kind of closing up and going into cards,
Hi.
but if you're available, we are doing an after discussion today. It probably will be short, but we do want to start holding to what we said we were going to do.
So that
We are doing tarot, so if you want us to pull a couple cards, Melissa, let us know. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people on the list at the moment. Paranormal. I am so sorry you feel that that's good handwriting. I mean, I
Thank
really just have
you,
to disagree with
Paranormal.
you. I really do. I just have to disagree. Oh, I can't do that.
I write as well as a physician, and that's
Brad, your
good.
handwriting is terrible. I'm sorry. Like, I can't even understand it. And you know it, too. That's what's really funny.
Well, I know you think that, but I don't agree.
You really think your handwriting is good?
I think it's I do. I really do. I can't read my handwriting. Yeah, it's better than that. Not to be mean, but I just have to be honest with you,
Okay.
or I wouldn't be a good partner.
Okay.
Whose turn is it? It's Calvin's.
That was a mistake you just made.
What?
Nope, that was a mistake.
I'm going to pull Calvin. Is the camera on yet for the
No,
cards?
and it's not going to be for your cards.
Okay, well, Kelvin needs to see his card.
All right, Kelvin.
All right. Ooh. Cool. What?
Nothing. I'm hurt. Like, actually hurt.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
May I go or shall I wait for you?
Go ahead.
All right. From the Shaman's Dream Oracle, I pulled the Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. The Netcaster arrives to tell you to stop praying for the fish. They're here. And it's time that you cast your net, for lest they swim away. Everything that you long for is within reach, but it has been so long since your prayers were answered that you've forgotten how to receive what is being offered to you. Put down the prayer beads and open your arms and your heart to rewards beyond measure. Cast your net. Take that next step that you've been planning for so long. Remember that the fish wait for no one, so time is of the essence. All right. Netcaster is 10. Mr. Kelvin. Ooh, what's this? Which way is it? This one?
Mm-hmm. So I have pulled the Tarot in Darkness Goetia for you, Kelvin, and the card is Nibirius. Now, in its coordinate in the traditional tarot is the moon. And so the moon generally represents a need to pay attention to the things that are hidden, that are maybe lacking in contrast. You don't have to do that. Just leave it on there. It's going to glue itself to the thingies. Pay attention to what's in between things. Paying attention to the just the little things that you almost miss because the light's so dim. But one of the things that also happens when the light is that dim of the moonlight is that we are illuminating that which is not normally illuminated, right? So that's bringing to the front, bringing forth the things that you wouldn't normally be able to see that are out at night that now can be seen in the moonlight. So the moon does represent that need to kind of pay attention to those in-betweens. Rooks or ravens, crows, corvids, I should say, the family is often associated with a very high intelligence, a need to grab things, a need to find things and organize and pull things and find things of value. So think of this moon as finding things of value in you that are really trying to show you what you need to do by looking at the things you maybe don't normally look at. So pay attention to the between the lines and those things that are underneath that is trying to show you.
There you go, sir.
Slide my card again. Oh yeah, no, you're going to be paying for this forever. That comment was
What does
just not allowed.
Paranormal Witch need to know for the week?
I know you're just ignoring me.
I'm not. I'm listening. You need to knock on me and clear my energy?
Yes. Just kidding. Hopefully that helps. I love these. These are really pretty.
Oh, what does the spirits want me to know since I'm going through a hard time? Okay. What do they want you to know?
All right, paranormal.
Go!
Paranormal.
What you need to know.
That's some shit.
Alright. Well, let's neat looking card.
Alright, the card is Asmodee.
Asmodee.
What's the number on the card? 30 something, I think.
32.
Asmodee, I think, is the King of Swords. I have to look it up on the graph to see it. Okay. So yes, Asmodee represents the King of Swords. Interestingly, this is a sun card and related to Virgo. So you have lots of fire and earth, presence of things that are seen, and you have a king here. This is the King of Swords. So swords often are referring to knowledge and grasping concepts, and this king wants you to make sure that you grasp all the concepts you need to grasp before you try to make a decision or follow through with something. So since you've shared that you're having a hard time, to me, this spirit king, the King of Swords, which is again Asmodee, is basically saying you need to pay attention to the intellectual prowess and the gnosis of things. You need to listen to and learn things Now, we know you've been doing a lot of learning and stuff, but it seems like maybe you're just not as duly engaged as you have been in the past, and maybe you've kind of fallen off a little bit of that search that you've been doing for knowing new things. So to me, I would either find a topic, or maybe something even we've said today, or maybe even Asmodee, or the King of Swords, or anything really that you're interested in, and do a little research on it.
Azazel.
But not just general research on things that you find interesting. This has to be learning something and experiencing something intellectually from a space. So I would focus on that. I would focus on, like I said, not just researching things, but finding something that's so intense or something that is so meaningful to you that maybe you wouldn't otherwise have gone into. And looking at it, reading about it, watch a video on it, talk to some people about it. He represents intellectual knowledge. That's what the King of Swords is. This true king of knowledge. This would be the owner of the library at Alexandria, right? This particular King of Swords would be the I don't know if there's an infernal library, but if there is one, that would be really cool.
I bet there is.
He'd be the king of that. So it's gnosis, it's knowledge, it's intellect that you need to focus on from a spiritual pathway.
All right. There you go.
Thank you, Her Own Witch. This is White Bat Audio is on YouTube. It's royalty free. Can be used anywhere really, as long as you give credit to White Bat Audio.
All right, Paranormal Witch. The spirits are pulling from the Shaman Stream Oracle Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain, allowing life to love you, an experience of both and. The pain of life is sometimes unbearable. When we're in it, we think that pain, that loss, that betrayal will always be woven through our continuity of existence. We're kept hostage by the way we identify with the pain and what we make it mean. If we let it, it becomes etched into us like a tattoo. No matter where on the spectrum of pain you find yourself now, whether it be mild disappointment or searing loss, it's time to make peace with it. Befriend it rather than resisting it, running from it, or judging it as bad or unfair or hostile. Can you see the gift that is here? Surrender to the Fool's Embrace, allowing the truth to envelop you in love and compassion. What if you could learn something amazing from this? What is truly yours will not pass you by. Something better and perfect for you is waiting elsewhere.
Nice. I like that one.
Then once you choose...
Those are really pretty cards.
They're really
You didn't have to clean that off each time.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I didn't know.
You've been doing this for how long? I'm so mad about you telling me your handwriting's better than mine.
Well, of course, that's partial to myself. In my opinion. We are on Joy. Does Joy have a question?
Does Joy
Or le General? Madame Joy?
Woot woot. VG woke up a little bit for this one. No, honey, don't freak out. It's just my foot. I love you.
She said it's like Miss Joy. Universe guides. Okay. Badge of honor. She survived. Yeah. Joy.
Meow, 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 meow. Oh, joy, joy. Of course.
Is that right?
Joy has received the Universal Guide of Marbas.
Marbas.
Marbas is the Hierophant.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
So, universal guides from this perspective, if Marbas is showing up, especially as the Hierophant, it is reviewing and accessing your structured version of your belief system. Most of the time, and we'll see what Rook pulls, but I'm going to go with, at this point, it's not a doubling down of, but a continuation on the spiritual belief system, the continuing in the path of the next step. This is taking the beautiful mosaic and actually then putting it to use, right? Or, it's activating the sign. It's going to the next step or the next piece of whatever it is we're trying to do. The Hierophant generally already has their setup, right? They already know what their belief system is. They feel it. It's strong. It's organized. It's set. Now, sometimes the Hierophant can really traditionally mean you need to step away from a standardized religious dogma. But in this potential case, as a universal guide, knowing kind of where you are with things, I think it's really a different harbinger this time. It is now, instead of just having the religious structure, or the belief system, I should say, not religious, but the belief system structure that you have, it's play it. You have the sheet music, play the magnum opus. So the Hierophant takes that sheet music and makes it into the orchestrated, magnum opus, the great opus, the great work. And so that's what I think Marbas is saying here. I think the Hierophant is saying, you've taken all the time to build the piano and make the music. Now you play the piano and enjoy it, as others will also do.
I pulled for you, Miss Joy, Sky Dancers, Surrender. It's a beautiful card. I hope you can at least see a little bit of how it looks. Liberation from attachment, Surrender. When a Sky Dancer appears, she is inviting you to welcome the deepest power of the feminine into your life. You have already overanalyzed your situation to exhaustion. Now is the time to invite the sacred feminine, the wisdom within your heart, no matter your gender, to guide you to success. If you have become earthbound, plotting and planning and praying for change, cease and desist. Break the habit of being yourself, of repeating the behavior and hoping for a different outcome. Stop trying to figure it all out and stop overthinking it. Surrender. The Sky Dancers are heralding the arrival of a new relationship with yourself, in your work, or in your love life. Do not assume that this person or opportunity will rescue you. The only way to liberation is to kiss the ground goodbye and take flight, to rise above the fray and the drama of the struggling, arguing mind. Dance in the sky and view the madness below. By simply witnessing the actors and the human comedy unfolding on the ground, you are transforming it. As you observe the drama, you release the power of the sacred feminine that allows for resolution. The Sky Dancers know the maps of heaven and the way to the holiest and most sacred spaces on earth. They come to help you with your current life, and even more important, to guide you to the realization of your own divinity.
Very nice.
It's a really pretty card, if you can see it.
It is very pretty.
Oh, yes.
I like those cards, yeah.
I really like these cards.
The Shaman's Dream.
Then we're on to Betty. To Betty, do you have a question, or would you like Le General?
Nice.
I got it right from then. It was gifted with 2 white feathers. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. May I put some of this?
Sure. What is it?
Dragon's blood, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And now you told me that I don't have to clean it every time.
Put it on there.
Okay, I will.
That's shit.
What?
I'm so glad y'all can't zoom in on us right now.
Hi. To Betty. Do the thing. Let the thing be done.
Do it. Do it. Do it. To Batty. We are ready.
Smells good.
That be yes.
All right. What does Betty need to know today? Just general. I'm curious what they have to say. Ah. Okay.
Let's see what Buer has to say. We got a lot of kings today. King of Cups.
All right. Oh, he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very regal.
Very illegal.
Looking right.
It looks like it.
I want to do our Ars Goetia study today.
We will. So Buer is, as you can see, Taurus related. This is also a Mercurial card. And King of Cups. So if I'm just taking at face value, traditional value, a King of Cups showing up, being that we've been pulling a lot of kings in the tarot and some majors, this is really a good sign of you being in or having something going on that you're thinking about, something in your head, something that's having some emotional impact on you, and you maybe are feeling that you're not quite ready or up to that particular task, but you are. Because the King of Cups generally represents I am in control of my emotions, not muting them, but in controlling of them. You're allowing them to occur, or you're capable of allowing them to occur as they need to, whether it's happiness, sadness, strength, fright, fear, any of those things, that you are in a place with this situation that you can effectively deal with this, whatever it is that you're going through emotionally. And this is saying you maybe don't feel that you can, but you can. So there's something going on, something that is having and potentially will have a profound effect on you, and you're thinking, I don't know that I'm ready for it, or I don't know if I can handle it, or whatever the case may be. But according to our Buer here, or I don't know why I want to roll the R for some reason, Buer, your King of Cups, you are fully able and capable of managing the emotional situation that you find yourself in. So you're selling yourself short a little bit, but you should not. I mean, you should not sell yourself short. You should feel confident and ready to do the thing that you want to do, that you're trying to do, that you're feeling a little shaky on. So. Got you, Dragon Puddle.
Dragon Puddle. Of course. All right, so Betty. I pulled Beloved Radical Acceptance. Let me straighten it up there. It's a little better. Okay. The object of affection. Radical acceptance, loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one you have been waiting for. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful or ugly in your being. The beloved may not be a person at all. It might be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. Love it, let it light you up, and give it your all. Surrender to this truth and know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you are being consumed by the fire of the beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. Usher the harsh critic out the door and shut your eyes and ears to the judgment of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke.
Nice. I like that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully that gives you some input.
There's something to think about for the week.
Dragon Dancer is next.
I want to be a dragon dancer. I'm really excited to hear about the meds and stuff after having moved. That's awesome. Keep thinking about what you said, Dragon.
It's so funny how much of this is written in Spanish.
Just boys. What does Lady Dragon? Oh, you got yours. Oh, that's
Larage or Laraji?
I could see Dragon wearing that kind of outfit.
Yeah, it's the Six of Wands here. Six of Wands is generally a message card. I think we've had this one come up for you before, actually, Dragon Dancer. Generally speaking, it's not a good or a bad message. It's just a message. It's a news. It's something that's going to be revealed or given to you that has information you've been looking for, but you maybe don't even realize that you needed it, but it'll be welcome. So we pay attention when the Six of Wands shows up, especially from a traditional aspect in a first card position, that it's generally not like earth-shattering news, or not this big thing, again, depending on what other cards we pull. But there's something that is really kind of coming into being known around you, and it wants to, it's so funny, that really wants to make itself known. And it'll be good news for you, or it'll be news for you. It'll be welcome news for you. But again, it's not necessarily good or bad or big. It's just something that will be helpful. And I don't know where that source is from. Could be from universe. It could be from an experiential thing. It could be from the mail. So we'll see what Rook's card is, and then we'll kind of maybe put that together.
All right. I pulled for you Deep Quiet, Meditation and Stillness, Clarity. When deep quiet appears, it is a message from the cosmos calling you to stillness, to step away, to step away outside the concerns of your everyday life. This does not mean to slow down and take a breath, although that is a good start. The cosmos is inviting you to go deep to that place where the noise stops and there is only the vast emptiness of inner space. When we don't respond to the invitation offered by deep quiet, life can stop us in our tracks with an illness or crisis. Listen to the still, small voice. Remember that you want to catch spirit on a whisper, not a shout. And it is only human to argue that you're too busy to slow down, that you don't have the time, the inclination, or the money for a retreat. Do not let any of these reasons get the better of you. Stop the world and enter the deep quiet before you come to a crashing halt. After you have said yes to this invitation, you will find that the world can get along quite well without the need for you to manage it. You will enjoy the freedom that comes with stillness, the clarity and spaciousness offered by the silence.
It's a pretty card.
Yeah, I like this deck.
Who's next?
Furry Rage!
Furry Rage!
Okay, Paranormal. Thank you.
What?
I'll retreat right in the backyard. Okay. Good.
I think she's rubbing it in there.
Grr.
That's one hell of a weird card.
A Furry Rage.
Barbatos.
Oh, cool. I
Not
like
Barbados. Barbatos. The Nine of Swords. So, we actually had a conversation about the Nine of Swords recently. About traditional meanings and additional meanings that you can get from the Nine of Swords. The thing with the Nine of Swords is, generally speaking, it's a representation of a fruitless endeavor towards the end. And so, if you're looking at the cycle of swords, when you get to the 10 is the inability to get to the goal that you have set for yourself. Now, some people look at the 10 of swords, and I'll get back to the 9, don't worry. The 10 of swords is one of the worst cards in the tarot, but to me it's not. It's the lack of getting something that you wanted to achieve, but it wasn't the right thing to achieve. Meaning, while it sucks that would not occur, something that you're looking forward to doesn't happen, it's because there's something better. So that had to fail. So let's think with that in mind, we go back to the 9 of swords. And the 9 of swords is a feeling of regret or remorse about something that's happening. And the thing is, if you realize and recognize there's something that you were trying to do that's not working out for you for some reason, it's just like it's not happening, it's really rough, it's because that particular thing had to be done differently. I take this as generally a card that says if you're frustrated or upset, or you're thinking maybe, why did this thing occur? Why was it so difficult to do this thing? It's because it was preventing something else from happening, right? So I'll take an example of, I really wanted to get a new car, for example. And I've been working really hard to get it, but that one car, and the only one that I could get, I went to go get, and I couldn't get it. And so I went home without a car, without anything I needed. But that's a failure of a system, but it's also necessary because a week later I found a nicer one for half the price. So that's where the 9 of swords comes in. So something around some system, maybe it's in your something you've been thinking about recently, like that sucked, I really wish that hadn't happened, or I'm frustrated, or I feel a little remorse or regret about the way something turned out. Know that that's being projected on you, and it's really something that had to happen and it couldn't have been changed. And it needed to happen for things to turn out the way they either are or will turn out in the near future.
I have to get some water. I pulled for you fluffy bunnies. The benefactor, grace and generosity. Gifts, support, mentoring. When the benefactor weaves her energy into your life, you're put on notice that all manner of positive reinforcement is coming your way. The universe wants to let you know that just as you have been generous with others, serving with your gifts even in the smallest capacity, so will you be rewarded in myriad ways. The most beautiful gift the benefactor gives you is the recognition that you are stewarding and sharing abundance on behalf of a higher source, one that is always working through you. The motives for her generosity to you, as well as yours to others, are intangible, although you will see the results reflected in the material world. The benefactor reminds you that it's in the purity of your desire to share, without the need for reciprocity, that paradoxically your initial generosity is reciprocated tenfold. Well, damn.
Good grief, say that 3 times fast.
Seemingly without any connection to the original act. Dream sharing and carrying into being, and you will be amazed to see this vibrant seed take root and spread. Do it just because, and the benefactor will give you her blessing.
Just because.
Just because.
Could be. I know, I've been trying to get off to do something.
We have fluffy bunnies in the yard to get.
Fluffy bunny. Tabby's next.
Tabby's
next.
Go,
Got 2 more. We got Tabby, her own witch, and Dragon Puddle.
What does Tabby need to know?
Looks like we have a jumper.
Alright.
Why am I getting all swords today? This is Merax. And Merax has come up a lot lately for me in reading, but the 4 of Swords.
Oh, I like this Merax.
Merax.
I want to see if they have a Ars Goetia Oracle deck. I would like an Oracle deck if they have that.
Well, that's the Ars Goetia Tarot deck.
That's the Tarot, yeah, but do they have an Oracle deck?
Why would they have them? Anyway, somebody probably did one. Who knows? That's a lot of cards for an Oracle deck, though. Oh, goodness gracious, excuse me. So Tabby, the Four of Swords is the card that has come up first. I know you can't really see it here, but in a traditional Four of Swords, it's at least in my traditional Four of Swords, my steampunk. It's a picture of a knight kind of laying down on a bench, resting, and there are 3 swords above him, and then there's 1 sword on the floor kind of near his hand. And it seems almost scary at first because it looks like he's sleeping under the swords, like they're coming at him, but the representation of that is that this person has a lot of heavy things on their mind, or things that could hurt them, that kind of just brewing in their head and going in their mind and all that stuff. And so the Four of Swords almost indefinitely, always, indelibly I should say, represents rest and recuperation. Because there are too many things in your head that are able to pierce you, that have sharp points that are able to cause difficulty or harm to you, and they're not going to resolve on their own. It takes things, it has to do work to get them over. So when the Four of Swords shows up, it's rest. It is, you have got to let some of those things go, or at least reduce the impact that they have on you so that you can get some rest. Because if you don't, one of those swords may fall off the wall and cause some damage. So, Four of Swords, again, lots of swords today, but that is a solid card to me. That is a representation of the need to get some of the heavy things out of your mind. Maybe talking about them and then taking a nap, even. Or ritualistically letting them go. Writing some issues and things down, or at least the way they make you feel on paper, and burning them. So, you need to clear your mind a little bit. You need to definitely kind of take a step away and find a way to get some real rest.
Cool card.
Marax.
I have pulled for you, Miss Tabby, Unmarked Trail, Revelation. There, that's better. An unprecedented experience, discovery, revelation. You are called now to embark on a sacred journey. The Arthurian knights, in their quest for the Holy Grail, had to make sure to take an unmarked trail that no one had ever followed, or they would not accomplish their goal. Likewise, you must enter the darkest forests of your soul via a route as yet unidentified to find what you seek. The manicured paths will bring you only temporary pleasure and later great pain. Stop it. You already know there is no reward at the end of the road you are following. You're only killing time. Pause, breathe, and commit in your heart to a sacred endeavor. Vow to not look for old solutions that may have worked with past challenges. Get out of character, try the outrageous, and keep your quest private. Now is not the time to speak of the voice that called you to embark on the unmarked trail. That time will come. The unmarked trail can be a sign that you have already made a choice, even if you do not want to acknowledge it. Be at peace with what your heart knows to be true. Your heart has already been made up, and your mind will follow. Pack lightly, taking with you only essential beliefs that you know to be trustworthy under all circumstances. The universe has your back. I like that card.
That's a pretty card. It's got a very calming feel to it, very spa-like.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Her own witch.
Her own witch. Let's see what we got for her own witch. So we can get something other than a swords.
Other than swords?
But if that's what's supposed to happen, then that's what we get. Her own witch.
Let's see.
Malthus.
What is it?
Malthus is the tower.
So, do we get it straight? It's pretty straight.
Yeah. So, everybody knows about the tower and the tarot, and I think everybody has come to realize the newer term or newer meanings of the tarot of the tower is less about this world shaking, everything just comes to a fault, but more about a moral and foundational shaking. And it can be a really good thing, right? It's the opportunity to change a line of thinking and engage something a little bit differently that maybe has been done in the past. Generally speaking, this is because of the way we're reading today, this is something that's just really happened recently or is getting ready to happen. A new style of thought process that you might be pulling into your practice, or a new vein of energy that you're pulling in that you haven't worked before, because that is going to kind of shake that foundation, right? And then make you think, ooh, okay, I can pull this in. This makes sense. I can get this in. This is really going to make a potential impact in a practice or a way that you do something. Doesn't have to be religious, but generally speaking, it's a foundational item. So we're talking religion, spirituality, family, like your systems of doing things. So Tower is kind of saying, hey, there's a shakeup coming. People get so... I know you probably don't. I think we probably talked about it before, and you probably already know, but it doesn't have to be, and it usually isn't a bad thing. And I think that's where people get afraid. Oh my God, the tower! Oh no! It's not an earthquake. It's a restructuring. It's a reworking of something.
All right.
So it's exciting. I love the tower. It's not my favorite, but it is one of my favorite cards.
One of my favorite cards for sure. Okay. See if I can get this straight.
That is really pretty.
It's pretty card. Mindful, groupthink, keeping a clear mind. Hurtful thoughts, groupthink. The human mind can be so many things. A prison, a latrine, a circus, a temple, a cave. It can be a place of restriction or a place of never-ending expansion. Right now, be careful of where you wander in your mind. The quality of your thoughts is key, as you're in a fertile time for full manifestation. You want to ensure that the seeds you plant will sprout and flourish into the life you seek to grow. Be mindful not to scatter weeds. It's easy to be influenced by others right now too, especially in our digital age. It's hard to protect yourself from the energy and the sheer amount of information bombarding you 24/7. If you allow all the fear and uncertainty to pollute your mind and emotions, you will fill yourself up with this negativity and then see more of it in the outer world. Stay out of gossip and other forms of groupthink, for when you cut another person down to their level due to their perceived mistakes or limit them, you activate lack for yourself. So fill yourself with thoughts of plenty. Imagine your universe unfettered by scarcity and alive with abundant hope and goodness. Be mindful of what your mind is full of and keep the faith. Good brings more good, love more love, gratitude more things to be grateful for. It's a really pretty card.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to figure out like what is on it.
It's got a tree, rose.
Ah, so it's kind of like almost like a little super colorful Kincaid waterway.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell that's what that was. That's really pretty. Last but never least is Dragon
Puddle. Alright. Dragon Puddle.
Le Puddle of Dragons. You already have a jumper. Oh wow.
Jumper.
Can I show that on here?
What? Yeah, you can.
I'm just kidding. She looks like evil. So this is Vepar. Vepar. I don't know how to say that properly. Vepar?
I can't get it. I don't know how to go straight. Oh. There we go.
Oh, that's because I'm looking in Spanish. Sorry. I have to coordinate. There's a little graph. Oh, you can't see that. There's a graph that tells you which card it goes with. And Vepar goes with...
You really like my name?
Seven of Pentacles.
Huh.
Okay. Seven of Pentacles. This is a really, really pretty card. But the Seven of Pentacles is a waiting game. Pentacles do represent a lot of the things in the physical life, things that we hold dear. It can be financials. It can be projects, things that we touch. It can be our master work, which means like blacksmithing or creating things that you have a master of. I knew it was coming.
I know you can see them.
I knew it was coming. But the real truth is it's waiting, and it is appropriate and gainful waiting. Like this is saying don't rush it. Don't try to push things too fast. Whatever is going on has to fold out in its normal process. You can't push it. If you do, it will turn sour fast. So this is, again, waiting and kind of just, thinking it through and taking stock of where you are and just saying, hey, the thing that I've done, that I've made, that I've planted, that I've grown, that I've put together now needs time to mature and grow. And that's what the Seven of Pentacles generally represents, is that stage of waiting while things seed and grow themselves and start to become something new, something great. Right. That is your Seven of Pentacles, your, what is it, Verfa? I forgot already. Veritas, Beneficence.
Vepar.
That is Vepar.
All right. I pulled for you the wall, obstacles, being inconvenienced by life, detours, non-action. There are moments in your life when you're so geared up, so sure that you're on track, with such drive and momentum that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. This unpredictably occurs outside your ability to plan, regardless of if you've done everything right, in alignment with the divine. It's imperative that you change the attitude now. This temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. This is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about who will win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down and contemplate the part of the manifesting equation that you and everyone else forgets. Life on life's term will override your best laid plans. Yes, as inconvenient as it may seem, this experience is an important reminder that you are a human being, not a human doing. Perhaps you're being reminded of your mortality, or that you are but a small part of a bigger universe, where your destiny intersects with others. Your life may be meant to serve another purpose at this moment, and your attention meant to be directed elsewhere. Consider that this place of temporary non-action is exactly meant to be for you. Perhaps it's because all you desire and have set in motion needs time to coalesce into form on the other side. Could it be that all the elements are not yet in place for its manifestations to be for the highest good of all? Patience is required now, and the wisdom that this might be a great time to take a break and contemplate gratitude. What is truly yours will never be walled off from you.
Nice.
All right.
Well, that give you a little bit of input, a little bit of thought, a little bit of information. And yeah, the boobies did run away. We can always bring them back one day. I've got a deck that's got a lot of boobies in it if you ever want to see it. And lots of other things actually for that matter. Good. Glad you have some thought for that, Dragon Puddle. So thank you. Where's my mouse? All right, we're going to transition over. All right, guys. So this has been a great day. I'm really glad we held today. Some great conversation. I'd like to take it further, though. Other than having to run to the restroom and get a few things set up, we have to make mead and do a lot of mead transfers today. So while we do that, we will hop and open Discord. We will open Discord if anybody wants to continue some of the conversation and some of the chat. So that way you can join us and we can talk some more. Rook got to come back for his favorite part. You got to come back for your part.
I'll do it, but I think we need to update it.
We do need to update it, of course. You're welcome. It's a lot of work to do that update. Maybe you should consider it. Where were you going?
To the restroom?
You should have gone. I was just saying. I didn't know where you were going.
I'm glad you asked.
Your communication is stellar. So, yeah, we got to do a lot of meat stuff. So we're going to open the Discord in just a little bit. Give us 5 minutes after the end of the show. We'll do that. so we can get some of those things moving, and you guys can hang out, talk more about the topics we talked about, or not, whichever works. So we have one last thing to do. Rook is going to take care of this and do his most favorite part, and then we will be out for the day. So, Rook,
I've got to decorate a pumpkin. All right. Please check out all of these awesome creators, Witches and Wonderfuls, from the Cauldron Witch on Instagram and from the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram. Go ahead and like her and follow her notifications when she goes live for tarot. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome reading experience. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. You got to go on and check out her blogs on gods, goddesses, deities, paranormal, and different things spiritual. Yeah, you hear Peachy. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Unexplained Possibilities on Instagram. He has some awesome interviews on everything unexplained, aliens, paranormal, occult. Check him out. Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch. You can follow Ziggy on Twitch, and if you catch her playing a game, she's often likely to ask you to join. A lot of fun. And Mabefell on Twitch. Addie Estate on Twitch and Instagram. Mr. Malice on YouTube. And Addie Estate on Facebook and Twitter, who, along with the guy sitting next to me, does a Friday night podcast, Apocrypha, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook, Two Pondering Pagans on Twitter. I'm Rook Tempest on YouTube, Rook_Tempest on Instagram. And Salann is Mystic Salann on Twitch and Salann Tawin on YouTube. Thank you all so much. Oh, hey, Ziggy! Whoop, whoop! Ziggy, 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 can't you see? Speaking of Ziggy, thank you all for spending some time with us. Have a great day, a great rest of the weekend, and an awesome week.
And real quick, Ziggy, we are going to do an after show in the Discord if you want to hop in. We weren't supposed to do this week, but we decided to add it last minute since we had to cancel last week for VG. So we'd love to see you in there. We're going to hang out while we get our mead together. Rook, I think, has to go out and do some other stuff. But
yeah, it'll only meet me very shortly because I got a pumpkin to get.
Yeah, because he doesn't like to get engaged in the stuff that we do at the house and leaves it all for me to do. Thanks. Love you guys.
Love you.